What's up, Headless Horde? What the heck happened? My thing didn't happen. But that's okay, because we're here. I got the eyeliner on. So, Michael Price, you'll be glad to know I'm good. Look at my eyes popping. What's up, everybody? It's a Sunday night, 7 p.m. And we are here to go over our least favorite characters from the Game of Thrones. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. And I'm going to bring in my guests, and we're going to get this thing started, because I don't want anybody to get their panties in a bunch. Michael Price, rocking out like England in the World Cup. My dear guy, we're going to have words tonight. What's up, Anthony Blaze? 5-minute intro. Who else is here? Anybody else here? Anybody else here? We got 7 in the chat. Let's go. Chat it up. Chat. All right, let's bring on the guests. We have Daenerys Targaryen with us tonight.
Hey, everybody.
So Lily is now wearing the wig. Yes, so we convinced her to finally do it again. And
yeah, it's the last time. It's the last time for this one. It's going in the garbage after this.
Yeah, it's getting old, and yeah. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that you have it on tonight, because that's awesome. And hopefully we don't see many Targaryens in your list, though, since there weren't too many Targaryens in the actual show. And she got her House Targaryen shirt on, her hoodie, yes. And now I'm going to bring on Mr. England himself, Ryan Milkey. What's up there?
How are you going to introduce me like that? I was smiling, rocking out to your bloody intro. I check the chat, and Michael Price hits me straight in the heart with an England, rocking out like England. Like, that hurt.
Yeah, it is painful.
Hello, Lily. Hello, Lily. Soccer talk, sorry.
Yeah, no.
I know we're on time crunch here. Let's go.
Well, we are being pushed over here, people. Pushed.
I literally put in the chat, don't put that wig in the bin. Send it in a box to me.
No box. And then with your mail system, you might get it just about as fast as we get NFTs. So there you go.
Or season 2, House of the Dragon.
Oh, do you hear the news on this? March, they're starting to film. Yeah, we're not going to get that until March, April of the following year. Then, yeah, it is what it is. What's up, Kenneth Bird? What's going on? And what else we got? Whoops, I just clicked the wrong button. Arcade Pops in the house. What's up? What's good? What is good?
Welcome, everybody.
Right. Yes, everyone's here, ready to see our least favorite characters. And I think this is going to be a lot different than last week, because I don't think we're going to have very many similar ones. It's actually a really interesting list. So let's get the show on the road. All right, here we go. So our least favorite, we're starting with number 10. We should see that, right? All right. Ryan Milkey. I don't know about this first one. I'm going to be honest. Actually, I have issues with both of you on this. We have the Mountain. Like, how is the Mountain a bad character? Like, I just got done watching him just tear apart the Sparrow people. Like, he just like here. Okay, here's one of these days we're going to do best quotes, right? Dude, the quote that when Cersei goes, "I choose war," or "I choose fighting," or I can't remember exactly.
I choose violence.
I choose violence. Thank you. I choose violence. And he just destroys that guy. It's awesome. So explain to me how the Mountain is your 10th least favorite character. Exactly.
So you said it in the first sentence. You just watched. No, you just said it in the first sentence. You just watched. Okay. I've read a lot more, right? And I'm telling you now, the things that the Mountain, Sir Gregor Clegane, does in his storyline in Westeros is just amazing. From the start of the show, we are made to hate this guy because we are introduced to the Hound, his brother, and the Hound is an evil, horrible man. And how could we think that this evil, horrible man could fear one person, and that one person is this evil brother that he has? We're instantly made to hate this man, right?
Yeah.
In the show. In the books, we see why we hate this man, because he rapes, he is brutal. We hear of a story or a battle from Ned Stark's perspective. We hear of a battle that he is leading down in, I can't even remember where the name of it is, but it's in season 1. He's leading, the Mountain is leading a battle down in the Riverlands, and we don't see what happens in the Riverlands, we just hear about it. In the books you get a lot more detail. His battles with Dondarrion throughout the whole book, he kills Beric Dondarrion, you know, and you don't see that in the show.
No. So
all these things, I wanted to see some more from him.
So I think let's do this for the viewers, because I already see a couple questions. So like Michael's asking us, is our favorite number 1 or least favorite number 1 or number 10? So okay, so number 10 would be like our 10th least favorite, where number 1 is going to be the person we can't stand the most. But I think what we need to do before we continue, it's and I know Lily had mentioned this, so let's do this. Let's go through and explain, because I think it's always a little hard to go when you are just texting back and forth and, you know, trying to explain like why or how you're actually coming up with this list. So for me, myself, basically what I did is I took the 10 characters when I watched the show that I think are utterly useless and weak and just not fun to watch on screen. And that is basically the way I kind of structured my list here. You know, like, so like for me, that's why I'm like in shock with the 2 up here with the Mountain and with Arya, because it's not like I'm ever bored when they're on the screen. So that's kind of the way I took this. So I don't know, Ryan, do you want to explain just how you kind of came up with this, so everyone watching can understand where we're thinking?
Game of Thrones to me isn't just a TV show. Game of Thrones to me is also literature. It's also the books. It's also audio books. It's also lots of other interviews that I've listened to from George R.R. Martin himself. Everything around the world of Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire to me is Game of Thrones. So I pull from all these things, and I know all these different things. And that's where I'm basing some of these on this list. I didn't want it to just be what I watched on television, because, you know, some of these characters have a lot more deeper character and a lot more deeper storyline that unfortunately we don't get to see in such a fantastic show of Game of Thrones that it already is. We get all these fantastic story arcs, but he's number 10 on my list because we don't see his story arc. We're just instantly made to hate the dude, and that's why he's 10.
So if what would happen in the book carried over more, he probably
would be in my favorites.
He'd be in your favorite.
He would have been in my favorites.
That makes sense. Okay. Do you have anything else to say about him, or
no?
Okay. So Lily, you have Arya. So why don't you explain how you took the assignment, and then explain to us why Arya is your 10th least favorite.
Okay. So I was more like you, Headless Ned, in that it was characters or even actors themselves who just kind of irk me about their character and the personality of their character, but not as in they're useless to the show. That didn't figure into me at all, really.
Okay.
It's just how they made me feel. And so I think it's hard for Ryan because he has also read the books and stuff like that. So it's like, it's hard to separate because you can't not know what you know right. What I mean? And for us, we haven't read the books. And so it's a little bit different.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying useless as in, almost like useless to me. And useless is probably the wrong word. I guess I'm trying to think of somewhere to say it like, I just don't, maybe not necessarily like the character, but I just don't think they do enough to even warrant not so much being in the show, because every character has their reason to be in the show. I don't know. I guess I just don't like them. It has nothing to do with the actors or actresses, but I don't know. To me, maybe almost being useless in the sense of the like the world they're in, which I will get to when I get to my number 10 here.
Yeah,
when you say that,
I don't get
useless in the world they're in. That's why I stand with the Mountain. He's useless in the world that he's in. From what we see, he doesn't really do much. Can I give one story that isn't said in the show that is quite pointed in the book, when now we know the story of House of the Dragon. You know, when he is killed by the Viper or was poisoned by the Viper, and then we get the zombie looking dude that we've got now in the photograph.
Yeah, right.
When he comes back, Qyburn announces him because he dies in the book, okay? And the mountain has supposedly died. Qyburn introduces a new member to the Kingsguard, the enormous Robert Strong.
What?
So, yes, his name in the book, when he comes back as the zombie dude, is Robert Strong. So now, knowing what we know now in the House of the Dragon, with the Strong named and all this stuff, it would have been cool if they'd have introduced that in the original show. It would have connected a bit more with the original, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where my thought processes are going with things like this. I have little things that aren't always common knowledge, but I'm just trying to be different. That's all. I'm just trying to stand out and be me.
Well, I'll tell you what, spoiler alert. Because if we do get the Jon Snow show, do we ever actually see the mountain's body? Well, what? Right?
Yeah, because even in the books, it's believed that the mountain is beheaded, and it's just a head. It's a zombie with no head. So it's weird. You know, I think it would have been so much more cooler if we'd have got those kind of things in the show, and that's why he's in my least favorite. But yeah, I'm going to drop it there with the mountain.
Okay. All right. So Arya, number 10. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
All right. I know everybody loves Arya. I know. And I like parts of Arya too. Like her girl power. Yes, I stand with her. You know what I mean? She's a tough little girl, and she is who she is from beginning to end. I like that about her. But having said that, I also think she's arrogant, overconfident. She's a brat. She thinks that she's made herself who she is all the way on her own. She doesn't give anybody else credit for helping her get to that place. And she treated Sansa like crap her whole life. And I just think she's a little snot. And it bothers me. It irks me. I don't love Maisie Williams, and I know Brian hates that about me, but I'm just not a huge fan. I've seen her on interviews, and I like her on interviews, but like her acting, I don't know. I don't love her.
I want to soundbite everything you've just said and just press play when I get to a character later on my list, because what you've just said is exactly what I would want to say for a character on my. Oh, yeah, that is crazy. Wow, I can't believe you think like that about Arya.
Yeah,
poor Arya Stark, our savior.
She shouldn't have got to be the one to kill the Night King. Sorry, spoilers. She stole that from Jon Snow. Well, the writers did, but that's another reason just to be annoyed by her. Go ahead, Headless Ned.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but like I just got done watching season 6. When she kills the phrase and she's like, where's my son? She's like, they're in there or in the pie or whatever. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I don't know. So for me, number 10 is Tommen. And there was another character I was flipping back and forth with, even as of like today. But I fell with him because he's so weak as a king. And I get he's just a kid, right? But I don't know. And then he takes the easy way out and commits suicide. And I really didn't care about that either. I kind of cheered him on for that one because I was just glad to see him gone. I just find him very, very useless. And he just doesn't care about Marjorie. He says he does, but he's afraid to do anything about it. So for me, Tommen definitely had to make this list because I just do not like the character at all. And I just think he was weak. So.
I like him, but everything you said is true.
Yeah, I completely agree. The only good thing I like about him is he connects falling out of the window to a king landing in King's Landing. So, because he was the king and then he landed on the floor. So yeah, I always got that. As soon as I seen it, I thought, oh my God, he's just jumped out of the King's Landing window.
There you go.
I think it's the same. Is it the same window that we had?
Yes.
Good old
yes.
Good old boy playing with his sausage in the window.
Yeah, I think it is. Look at that. They had the same
apropos.
They had the same they had the same room. How nice. How nice is that?
I know.
Number 9. Oh boy, here we go. So Lila, you're first. And I just dropped an amazing video on Melisandre, which I'm still shocked that I didn't get her in my top 10. But So explain, and I know most of this, but go ahead and explain to the audience why you don't like her.
Okay, I think she is so annoying on screen. I can't stand the way she speaks. It's overacted. Bleh. Every time she's on the screen, I want to fast forward through it, turn it off. I can't stand it. That's it. I can't stand her. And I know she brought back my boy when I almost rage quit the show, but.
Ryan, you want to say anything?
She's mysterious, and it was hard for her storyline to break through. She in the books, she's got so much. Again, I could go into so much detail, but I don't want to be here all night. So
yeah,
no, she's. I kind of agree with Lily a little bit. She doesn't really do much apart from talk about the Lord of Light and bring our boy back. So
yeah, I mean, I find her more annoying in the beginning seasons, but after Stannis goes, I do like her in the last couple seasons. I don't know. I mean, she is mysterious, which is why I made the whole video that I made today on it. And I don't know. I think that I honestly think they didn't really complete her storyline the way they should have. I understand what happened, in the end, but I think there's more, especially because there were other Red Priestesses, and I wish we would have been able to know more, especially the one that goes and talks to Tyrion and Varys in Marine. It was so weird. I almost feel like the writers did not know what to do with her story at the end. I feel like if George would have had the book finished already, then we might have got a little better story for her. But
yeah,
it is.
I'll never forgive actually being attracted to the actress and then having to see her as an old woman and having to connect those two things was one of the worst things in television history for me. So it was like, damn it. Because we don't all just come here for the battles on Game of Thrones.
Right,
it's a very adult show.
She is beautiful.
She is.
I went with another character who I believe is just absolutely useless to the storyline. We don't see this dude for 3 years, and then all of a sudden he comes back and he's in an episode and he's dead. So, and this dude needs to learn how to run zigzags. Listen, I teach my kids at school how to run zigzags, learn how to run zigzags. Dumb. I did not like Rickon Stark at all, and that is why he's on the list. I don't even know if this dude has more than I don't even think he even says more than 20 lines throughout the entire series. I don't know. Again, maybe this is another character where they had no idea what George wanted to do with him. Because they didn't know either, and they just basically ended it. And
Ryan has thoughts. I think I saw his eyes go. No,
yeah,
nothing in the book that would tell you otherwise.
No, he's as boring in the book as he is in the show.
Yeah.
I think he's a pawn, and he needs to be there for Jon to care about him in the Battle of the Bastards to bring them there. That's about it. That's a chess piece.
Exactly. It's the only reason why I think he's even alive, because Theon could have killed him and nothing would have changed. Nothing would have changed, But yeah, so that's my reasoning for that. Milky, you have a girl, Liza Aaron.
She's boring and pointless, and the only reason she's there is to serve for Littlefinger's manipulations. She wants to be her sister so much, and she can't have it. She lets Sansa in. Sorry, I had to say that name. She lets her in. And then as soon as she sees her and Littlefinger getting close, she wants to throw her through the moon door. It's like she's a psychopathic woman. She's holding the inhibitions of her growing son. She's not letting him develop and grow up because she's still breastfeeding him. So he's not going to he's not going to become a man, of course, because he's still just going to be a mummy's titty boy. I can't stand her. She's annoying, and I cheered like hell when she was pushed through that moon door. Spoilers.
I think everybody did, and I bet she's on not just ours, but I bet she's on everybody's top 10 list of their least favorite characters from this show. She's just
yeah.
I hated her.
Yeah, it's just super annoying. Number 8. I went with another Stark. Bran is useless too. Can't stand this guy, and I'm even more mad now when I found out that he canceled going to the Game of Thrones convention on like the day before. So now I'm even more. I wanted to move him down actually because of that, but I just feel
Did
like
you not have wheelchair access?
I don't know. I super annoying. I just don't like this character at all. Him being the king at the end of the show was ridiculous. He basically got carried through by everyone who died because everyone who helped him died, and I don't like this character. He was actually much higher on my list in the beginning, and then I kind of started like actually looking into all these other characters and moved them down a little bit, more or less because of his last name. But I don't know. It's funny how he's in the same family as like characters I love, like Arya and Jon, and I mean even Rob to a point. I mean he had his flaws, but for someone who we kind of almost started the drama with the him falling through the tower or off the tower, he just got more annoying every season. And yeah, I definitely was not into him being on the throne at the end. And then he sends away Jon like a jackass. Anyways.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, it's terrible. Milky, you are up with we have a Targaryen up there.
Viserys Targaryen.
That's right.
What do you want me to say about this dude? Unstable, egotistical, impotent fury. I don't know. Needlessly cruel. Always threatening Daenerys, threatening to kill her unborn child. And then at the beginning it's like, oh, he's a really cool dude. He's saying all these, he's quite villainous. He's a villainous character. He feels like he'd do anything to retake Westeros, I feel. And then, we quite quickly find out that he literally overblown his self-image by quite a lot. And he probably couldn't do any of those kind of things that he was saying he could do. For me, he's the weakest Targaryen. If I was going to do a Targaryen list, he'd be at the very bottom of it.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a weasel.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, he belongs here. He looks cool, and I like the character that plays him, the actor. I thought the way the actor played him was fantastic. But now that we have another Viserys Targaryen, it's like, oh, which one am I talking about? Because now when I think of Viserys Targaryen, I think of Paddy Considine in the House of the Dragon. This guy is, the other dude. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I guess the one reason why, I mean, I did not put him in my top 10, and I definitely thought about it. I guess the only reason why I didn't is because when I think about when someone dies on the show and I love it, the actor or character must have done a pretty good job for me to be that like cheerful on someone dying. And when he got the golden crown, I just remember I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
That was awesome.
I think it was one of the first celebratory deaths that we ever got. It was the first one we got that was like, wow, this is a different kind of feeling. I'm not sad that somebody's dead,
Yeah.
And for me, it's always the clunk of the gold when it hits the floor. That's the best bit about the death.
Yeah.
That's a little dark and twisty, Ryan.
I never said I was an innocent little angel. Hey, Moon Pie. I'm saying hey, Moon Pie to Andrew. Hey, Andrew. Good to see you. Good evening, Papa Missouri.
There's Papa Missouri. What's up, man? So Lily, you have Peter Baelish.
Yes, Peter Baelish. So he irks me the way he's supposed to irk me. Okay, so I'll give him that. And I do love his character in the show. So this is a weird one. I really went back and forth of whether I was going to put him on there or not. However, he's so wormy and weaselly like Larys from House of the Dragon 2, where while I'm watching him, I'm like uncomfortable. He like makes me like, ugh, has the ick factor. Like even the way he speaks and everything like that. But I know he's supposed to be doing that. So he's really doing a good job, but he's doing such a good job that I'm kind of like, it's a little too much. His speaking reminds me of Melisandre, where it's a little too much, a little overboard. I think especially later in the show for him, where it was Melisandre was more at the beginning.
I like Peter, but everything you said, I agree with. But again, I think that's part of it that does make him a good character.
Mhm.
Again, I actually like him in the earlier seasons. I think in the later seasons, his character gets weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because of a certain person that he's with, but we'll get to that in a bit.
I can't wait.
Number 7.
It's vicious,
Ryan,
guys. I'm sorry.
Number 7.
Go ahead.
We have Milky. You're up with Cersei Lannister is one of your least favorite characters. And Lily, would you have her at number 4 last week for your favorite? I think it was somewhere in 4 or 5 range.
Yes.
I
love Cersei. I love her.
Okay, so Ryan, explain. Because Cersei, I think, is a great character.
Is Ryan
frozen?
She just,
there he goes.
She doesn't do anything. Am I back? No, I'm back. I think it's my new Wi-Fi playing up, but it's cool. I'm still here. Cersei doesn't do anything. She's very good with words, and she's very good with the power that she holds. But she just makes everyone else do it. You see Daenerys. She gets on her actual dragons and flies, and I have my own issues with Daenerys as it is. But she was a better main character as a female than Cersei ever was and ever will be. The only thing that drew her for the show was the prophecy that Maggie the Frog gave her and her love for her children. And then she was ruined by Dan and Dave in the later seasons anyway. So, yeah, I just feel like she doesn't do anything.
I think, and I said it in our favorite characters, she plays the shit out of Cersei Lannister. So I just think she does an excellent job, and she's such a good villain. She's a villain that people even not root for, like they want her to win, but they don't, like, she's a reason to watch. That's what I think.
Yeah, wow. I really couldn't disagree with you more. I mean, she didn't make
Ryan.
With Ryan. I mean, she didn't make my top 10. But I mean, if I did top 15, she'd be in there. She doesn't do anything. I mean, dude, she does a lot. Like, I thought we had, Lily, I think you even said last week that we kind of both agreed that she probably played the Game of Thrones probably the best. I mean, she was a queen of not a useless king. I mean, I liked Robert, but his character was kind of, I think people looked at him like he was kind of useless. And she went from basically just being a nobody for the most part, and then all of a sudden she's sitting on the throne in season 7.
Because of everyone else's victories put her there. She sent Jaime everywhere to do the things that she did. She hung on to her father's words every time. I don't know. I feel like she wouldn't have been as important without all the other people around her. So,
but that's how you play the game, and that's how you are.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, just when she uses, it's basically her idea for to use the wildfire underneath the, I don't know, was it the cathedral or whatever area they're in at that point. And I mean, she was a good mother, but I always thought that she cared about she was always her number one. I mean, even over Jaime, maybe to the very end, but yeah, I don't know. I really liked her as a character, but so Lily, you have I think her name's Mary or something. Mary.
I don't even know her name.
Yeah. This
is the woman that caused the death of Khal Drogo and ruined my life, and so I hate her guts. That's all. That's all I can say about her. She made the spot just for that.
Yeah, I mean, she would be if she was actually in the show for more than like 15 minutes, she's useless.
And killed Khaleesi's baby.
She did.
So, we need to have another live stream debating this exact thing, because I believe Daenerys did all that. Knowingly. Well,
she shouldn't have. I don't think she did, but unless you know something we don't know.
No.
But
from the show,
she shouldn't have trusted her.
She
shouldn't have trusted her.
Yeah, I just think that at that point she was so. Well, I still think that she was a little gullible back then in season 1, and she just was so worried about that wound which it is kind of funny that he dies off of like a paper clip, a paper cut, but whatever. And then we got John getting shot in the air, with 3 arrows, and he's good to go. I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. But I think you're right. I think she is the one who kills Khal Drogo. I think Khal Drogo probably would have been fine if it wasn't for her even messing with him. But yeah, we don't know. I have another one here. He's useless. Ollie can't stand this kid. So I have 3 kids on my list already.
You do, Mr. Teacher.
So I mean, this kid is just super annoying. I mean, who is he think he is? I get he kills Ygritte, which I wasn't happy about anyways. Trying to save John, but she was never going to kill John. I get it. He didn't know, whatever. But the wildlings they killed my family, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what, bro? They just saved you too. And I don't know, man. This kid's annoying. I'm so glad when he gets hung, I love it. So I don't know. I don't like him. So
it's the egret killing the thing that irks you. Because for me, it's for the watch.
Oh no, the egret thing is what irritated me the first time, and then at the end when he comes up with all the other guys, it's for the watch. You stab you, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, I needed counseling that week because I would have kicked the nearest 7-year-old in the face as soon as I seen it because it just had flashbacks. Like, I never wanted to hurt a child so much.
Yeah, this kid sucks. So.
I'm joking, people. Don't cancel me.
Yeah, I don't like Ollie at all. And after rewatching it, I really don't like him. So, number six. Lily, you have Euron Greyjoy, who comes out of nowhere. Again, is he in the books, Ryan? Because I felt like this character was completely made up. I don't know. Is he even in the books?
No.
Yeah, there you go. George could have.
He's referenced in it.
He is referencing it, though.
Am I losing internet a lot?
No,
you're good.
I just had a child run through the background. Euron is a douche. I can't stand him. He's so annoying. Ew, the fact that Cersei entertains him at all grosses me out. I know she's just using him like a pawn too, but he sucks. I hated him. He's horrible to Theon and Yara and their family. Darn it, family.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. That's for sure. I have this idiot who I can't stand either. So
he's pretty gross.
This is Walder Frey. I do like when he eats his kids. That's pretty cool. Can't stand him. I didn't like him when we first met him. I knew he was going to be a rotting character, and then he turns on her boy Rob and everything else because he's all butthurt with his ugly daughter and whatever. I was really happy when he died. Yeah, I don't really have much thing to say about this guy. I just don't like that character at all. But again, I'm happy when he died because he actually did play the role really well. But as a character, I just couldn't stand him. And then Ryan,
I can't not like him because he's played so many iconic British roles in my life. That every role he's in, I love. He's in Harry Potter. He was Doctor Who. He's so many amazing things. So yeah, even though he's really annoying and a stupid character, he didn't make my lists. But Craster did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, rapes all his daughters, kills all the kids, always belittles his men for making them hungry, and it was just a horrible dude, just an absolute horrible dude who for some reason thought he was God in the North.
Yeah,
I think he definitely deserves to be on my list.
Yeah, I agree. Craster is. I did not care for that character either. Again, I guess I was almost thinking he wasn't even in the show enough for me to even put him up here. I think that's the only reason why I didn't do it. But yeah, I get that. All right, top 5.
Wait, you didn't talk about Ryan's. Oh, did you?
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Craster.
Yeah, it's
I must
Craster.
have zoned out for a second. Sorry.
So number 5 for me is going to be Euron, for a lot of the reasons you just stated. I just felt like this character came out of absolutely nowhere, and it's just because they wanted another bad guy. Like that's how I felt he came in, and he was like a big bad, but he didn't earn it, I guess, is my biggest issue. Is like I said, he just kind of came out of nowhere for the most part. And I was super annoyed with this character the entire time. And he talked about someone who doesn't really do anything. He doesn't really do anything. So, Ryan, you have a boy Joffrey up there for your 5th least favorite character.
And he was on my favorite list.
He was.
He's a slime ball. He's. We could go on for hours. He's just he repulses me, and I suppose it's a good thing because if a character is making me feel either good or bad about it, it's like wrestling. Their job is to either make you boo or cheer, and if you get either or, then they're doing a good job. So maybe I'm rethinking it, but I don't know. I hate him, and I can't ever give him the light of day to be on a good list. He will always be on a horrible list in there, and yeah, probably a shocker. And you chose such a stupid, smirky photograph of him. Like, I want to punch my TV screen.
That's like the essence of him, though.
That's how much he affects me. Like, oh.
He also played that role so well.
He did. He got death threats in real life, and that's a bit silly. But yeah.
Oh my god.
And Poppy Missouri just said, "Oh, spoiler alert! He hasn't seen the whole show, so I probably would advise you to either mute us and just listen to us somehow. Try and make your own words up to what we're saying."
Yeah, this is all spoilers, that's for sure. I mean, I love to hate Joffrey. Again, there's another death where it's like, I mean, I don't know, maybe Ramsay is maybe a little higher because it was so good, but he might be my top one where it's like, yeah, finally gone. But then honestly, like the show does miss something, the show does miss something when he leaves, because then look what we get Tommen, and he's terrible. But Lily, you have Sir Alistair Thorne from the Night's Watch.
Yeah, he's so awful to Jon that, Jon can be broody and whiny, but and doesn't follow all the rules. So I get why he needs to be disciplined at sometimes. But he was just so awful to him, and I didn't like that. He irritated me the whole time because there were so many times where I wanted him to just listen to Jon. Like, he's right, listen to him. And it didn't happen.
Yeah, I actually do. I actually wish he would have died differently than the hanging, because I wanted to see him get torn apart by Ghost, to be honest with you. Because another character that if we were doing a top 15, he probably would slide in. It's tough with only 10, when you actually go through all the lists. But I agree. He was a very unlikable character as well.
Yeah, me too. The best thing about him is his voice. Like his voice.
Yeah.
Quite familiar. He's such a cool actor. But yeah. Very boring. The character.
It's funny because they never really. Ever since we saw him in the very beginning, they never really explained why did he was so against Jon. He was right from the get go, and it just it almost didn't make sense.
Do you know Ryan?
Because he saw himself as a young boy. He wanted to stand up more, and he couldn't. He was always oppressed down, but he always had masters above him, and he saw that Jon could be that, and he wanted to make sure that he stayed level ground.
See, now that'd be something that I wish they would have added to the show then, because I feel like that's an important detail, because like I just said, I'm just rewatching the whole thing. I've been knocking this out every 5 days. I'm finishing a season, and I'm like, man, why do you even hate him? But there you go. I mean, it makes sense.
When you finish this time, when you finish it around this time, I implore you to pick up a book and just start. And you honestly don't rewatch it again. Wait. But just pick up the first book and start. And then if you don't want to keep reading, I'll understand. But you will learn so much more in that first book, and you'll be like, why have I watched this show 7 times? I could have read these books twice.
Yes,
don't get me wrong, I watched the show multiple times. But
we need a book club.
I'd love to do a book club. Yeah.
At number 4, another guy I wanted to throw in here. Sir, was it Marin Trout, right? And
Marin Trout, yeah.
Yeah. So Lily, again, another guy I wanted to get him in there. I just couldn't fit it. And again, I think maybe because he is like so just in the background most of the time, and then he has a couple scenes here and there. But yeah, go ahead. Because
he's horrible, and like this is one reason that I like Arya. Okay, so I give her props for this because she handled him, but he goes to the brothel and he keeps saying too old, and so he's just torturous and awful and inhumane. He's evil. He's really evil and just disgusting. Like there's no redeeming quality about him whatsoever. And I think it's meant to be that way, but for that he made my list.
Well, the whole thing at the end, when we see him with Arya, did they ever make mention though before that? That's what he did, because again, I feel like that's just a whole nother thing that came out. Like I didn't even know anything about this, so I don't, and again, we're going off of the writers not having the material to do it. But yeah, I mean, another guy where I loved, that he was killed. So. I went with this irritating kid, another one. I mean, who doesn't hate this kid?
Send a man through the moon door, mummy.
We have Robin Aaron, and I don't even know. Like how did he live? I want to know how he lived. Like it's unbelievable. Like
I want to say milky. I want to say milky, but that's kind of on brand.
So like, okay, so the scene I'm thinking of right now is it's before they attack Winterfell, and this little torpy king that he's talking to I don't remember his guy's name, but he's like the older, I don't know if he's like the captain of the guards or whatever, but he's like talking to him, and almost like it leads it up to this little kid to like let this guy who's been fighting for how many how many like kings and stuff, and he's like, oh, okay, you can stay. Like I'm just like, dude, just cut his head off. Like I don't know, this kid's annoying. I don't know. It's unbelievable that he made it, but there's so many characters that didn't make it. Anyways, super annoying.
He was technically heir to the throne of
River Run or whatever.
River Run.
Not River Run. It's
the Eyrie.
The Eyrie. Yeah, by the Vale. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So they were just trying to give him powers and make him, seem a little bit like a leadership moving up.
Yeah. The only good line this dude has is like, "I might see a little man fly through the moon door."
Yeah.
He's talking to Tyrion. That's like the only good line that he says. Besides that, I wanted him to go through the moon door, but.
And then like what happens to him when we get to season 8, he's like a completely grown-up man. It's like, who the hell are you?
I know, because he's not in it enough. I know, that's the thing. Like that's the biggest issue, is that with Rickon too, like I barely recognize them, because we don't see him for like 3 seasons or whatever. But I don't know. Anyways, Milky, you have our boy Walder over here.
Yeah. Walder Frey, the character, he got what he was coming. He made me physically cry watching the show when he did what he did. Killing. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, of course, if there's people that are listening, but that's what we're here. We do talk about it. We are pretty much that way inclined. But yeah, when he does what he does at the Red Wedding, it's pretty brutal. And that's all he really does, apart from then hold the keys to crossing the river later on down the line, and then he gets killed. Again, what's the point? So much more power at the twins in the book than there is in the show, and it just wasn't shown.
Lily, I just realized I screwed up, and I'm going to fix it right now. So bear with me. Chat, before we get to our top 3 and Lily tells us about her number 4, let us know right now, who do you agree with the most?
I don't even know what you messed up. Something that hasn't come yet?
No, I messed up one of your things.
Oh,
Or no, I did not. Wait, I don't know what I'm doing. Never mind. I was looking at. No, never mind. You already talked about this one. I apologize. Oh no, what am I doing? What am I doing? There we go. Oh my god. All right. I was looking at. I didn't realize you already. I thought you already talked about him, but I forgot you went first this round, so I blew it.
okay.
I thought I put Mirren on there twice. That's why. So, anyways, sorry about that. All right, so what did anyone in the chat say anything? Who do you guys agree with? Come on.
They agree.
Chat.
They agree that Arya should be higher on the list.
All right, number 3. Here we go. All right, so Milky, you have Baelish up here. So you guys both have Peter Baelish. I did not have him in my least favorite. So why did you put him as one of your top 3? That's pretty high.
Because he was the silent assassin, or claim it was given to us in the show as the silent assassin from the start, and then it just amounted to nothing. I know that the writers ruined it at the end, and I know he's alive still in the world of George's books.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to get when we read the books, we're probably going to get his death coming in the Winds of Winter, which will be interesting from George's perspective. But yeah, just his whole story arc for me was a ladder. Chaos is a ladder.
Yep.
We had a ladder, and then it was literally just dropped off, and it was like, come on, it was such a good character story build, and you just ruined it. So yeah,
they definitely did not know what to do with him. They had no idea, and the whole him and Sansa thing was weird. I mean, my God, even toward the end, where is Sansa supposed to be? Like maybe 19 or 20 tops. I mean, that was really, really weird. So yeah, I kind of agree with that part of it. Lily, you have the waif.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well done. I want to applaud you for that.
Thank you. So just like the part she comes from, the House of Black and White, the worst part of the show, I fast forward through it when I rewatch the show. It's the stupidest storyline. And this chick has a lot to do with that. Like, I can't stand when she's on screen. I like Arya better than her. I root for Arya when they're fighting each other, but I can't stand all of that. And she just makes it so much worse. She's so annoying.
Yeah, the best thing about the House of Black and White is oysters, clams, and cockles.
That's exactly
the
right.
best thing of that entire section of show.
Yeah.
Oysters, clams, and cockles.
Mm-hmm.
So like you hate the House of Black and White storyline. For me, the worst storyline is with this douchebag right here, the High Sparrow, who doesn't even have a real name. I absolutely hated that storyline.
Oh,
that
I didn't.
This I want to fast forward through. It's too drawn out. It goes over like a season and a half. The way they ruin Marjorie's character with this is so dumb. I still want to know what Marjorie says to her grandmother, or what he like. So she gives her that picture of a rose. I honestly still don't understand what that even means. I don't know. I couldn't stand this guy when he blew up. When you actually see him blow up from the wildfire, it's absolutely amazing scene. I love it. I actually played that in slow motion because I like it so much.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I can't stand this guy.
I thought this was a good storyline though, because Cersei caused it. But she was trying to make things go her way, and it backfired on her. But after she gets through all of that, it's what really rises her above to go full force. And they had to get Marjorie out of there. I like Marjorie too, but they had to end that. That had to get out of here for Cersei to go forward.
I don't know. I just think it was done such an easy way. Like they killed all those characters like that. And I just thought it was an easy out for them. I mean, so Ryan, because then Ryan, like, is any of this even in the book?
Yeah, he's super connected to the Hightowers and Alicent and Otto and all them, because it's the Faith militant and they all believe in the faith and all this stuff, and he's very well in it. In the books especially. He is the reasoning for the shame walk. He is,
Yeah, okay, so that does happen in that's season 5. Okay, so you're right. Yeah, so he would be in this, but they're all still like Marjorie. She's alive and everything in the book still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all still alive. Okay, that's right. That was season 5. Okay, we're going to get to our top 2 now. So here's number 2. All right, so Lily, you have you have my boy Robin right here, and
Yes.
yeah, so he's number 2.
Yes, I can't stand him or his mother. They're both disgusting and gross, and they're the ones that I can't even. When they're on screen, I'm just like barf the whole time.
You have Drogon behind you.
Yes. Get out of here. He's so annoying. He's such an immature little brat when he's in the garden with Sansa and he destroys her sandcastle or whatever it was she was building of Winterfell, and she slaps him. I loved that. Yeah, we all know. He's on everyone's list.
Yeah, Robin's terrible. So I have his mom is my second least favorite. A lot of the reasons why you said earlier. I mean, just an annoying character. I don't even know why she's in this. I mean, she ends up dying, which is fantastic, through the moon door. I mean, that's always a win right there. But I mean, I guess someone's got to rule that area, and it's just weird. So I guess it's just strange that they made these two so weird. Like, it just, I don't know what it is.
I know, because she's Catelyn Stark's sister, and
with Catelyn,
I think she's so likable.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's just so funny that they made her just that odd, and obviously she's super jealous of Catelyn. But I don't know. Yeah,
I guess that was the point. That sister rivalry, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, so I couldn't stand her. And Milky, you have you have her man right here. Or
Meryn Trant. Yeah, so Meryn Trant, my most hated character, is always going to have a reserved spot. So he goes to second place because, and it's kind of good how I've done this now. You'll realize the longevity of my storyline. The Mountain was 10. Meryn is 2. I believe that because the Mountain was a celebrity and the world's strongest man, he wasn't given the storyline that was truly honored for the Mountain. And I believe that some of the actions of the Mountain were given to Meryn Trant. Because Meryn Trant was a nobody as an actor coming into it, So yeah. I believe that, because he's never really that bad in the books, but the Kingsguardsmen are really bad and they do stupid shit, but he's the worst one of them, But the Mountain's worse and he leads them all. And the Mountain does the raping and the pillaging and all this stuff. And I just believe that because he was a celebrity, he couldn't do that on screen, that kind of stuff. So they give it to Meryn Trant. So yeah, Meryn Trant's second, but by default it should be the Mountain if he was given the correct story to run.
Yeah. You do always make me want to read the books every time we have a chat, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's why I'm here.
Again, I don't know with him. I just feel like he wasn't that big of a character. That's why I didn't even put him in, honestly. All right, so here is our least favorite characters in Game of Thrones. So it's interesting. Lily, you said you can't stand Sansa, and you didn't even make your top 10, which is interesting.
I know. I don't think I said I can't stand her. I'm not a huge fan of hers, but I don't hate her. I'm like a 50-50 with her.
Yeah. Yeah, I just I really don't have no problem with Sansa. I actually like her in the later seasons, though. She does kind of grow up a little bit, and I don't know. I kind of like her as a character. I can see earlier on she's a little bit annoying, and but again, I mean, I think that she doesn't have much of a choice to, she's got to follow Joffrey and what he says. I mean, what else do you want her to do? Especially after Ned dies,
Yeah, and her mom's never there because she's off trying to save her sons all the time.
Exactly. It is. Yeah. All right. Well,
Only mother
Ryan, you're
figures.
gonna get your chance. You're gonna get your chance.
Okay.
I know.
I'll start off. Here, yeah, well, Lily, why don't you go first here? Because we already talked about hers. Anything else you want to add? I don't think anyone of us disagree with her being number one because she is super annoying.
Yeah, nobody would disagree. Everybody that watches the show thinks she is a turd. And when she breastfeeds her like 10-year-old son, oh my God, everybody just had what's happening here right now? And so she stinks. We all know it. I'm surprised this is your number one.
Yeah, I can't stand her, especially after rewatching the entire the whole entire season. So, it's funny that because you said you hate the section or the plot line of House of Black and White. I actually don't mind it. As I'm watching it and you're able to watch a few episodes at a time, it actually does not drag on as much as I remember watching it live. Now, I've watched all of this before several times, but I'm really speed watching this because I want to try to get it done before Christmas. I'm trying to finish this. So I feel like I with especially the last two seasons in 5 and 6, I've really been flying by, and it's really not as drawn out as I thought. Like I thought Arya was blinded for like a season. It's literally like 2.5 episodes. It's really not that long at all, And again, maybe it's because we had the long break in between seasons, and she was blind at the end of that, and then so it's really not as bad. I can't stand this character because my biggest issue is that she walks around like she's Jason Voorhees and she's able to just withstand everything and she's always right there. Like she doesn't even run, but she's always, in the scene where Arya is kind of almost like trapping her, going through the market and going back into her little tunnel or wherever she was kind of keeping Needle and all that. Like she's always like right there. And Arya's like diving off rooftops and falling over and she's like right there just walking right behind her. It's so stupid.
This shows why Arya stinks. The waif became no one. Arya did not succeed in that. Arya did not become no one. Arya is still a Stark. She always was a Stark. She couldn't become no one because she cared too much about her family loyalty. So she became a pretty good killer, but she didn't achieve her goal.
Yeah, I don't know, though. Do we really believe that was her goal? I believe her goal was to get these skills to go kill the people on her list. That's the way I look.
She was just selfish. Like killing's fine for her, but not all those people she killed. Hypocrite.
Yeah. Well, but they also did all wrongdoings to her family. So
okay, Dexter.
But yeah, the waif is just an awful character. Couldn't stand her. All right, Ryan Milkey. Sansa Stark is your least favorite character in Game of Thrones. Go for it. Tell us why.
Dude, you just said something like, "Oh, she had no choice. She had to stand with Joffrey." No, she had a choice at the very start when she was told who was lying in the situation, and she chose to stand. When Ned was still alive at that point, Robert was like, "What is going on with this?" Because they had a fight. Yeah. And she lied then, and that's when my hatred for this woman started to grow. And throughout the whole thing, protected by Brienne for what? No reason whatsoever, just because she's a stupid princess. Like she wanted to be part of Joffrey's thing with the throne and everything, and then later on down the line, when it's an option, she wants to go independent. I was like, come off it. Claiming who do you think you are to be able to go claim the North as independent on your own? Like, I'm sorry, but that's John's, if anything.
Yeah. I agree with you, but didn't she got duped by Joffrey because Joffrey told her that if your dad admits it, we'll have mercy on him. And that's why she lied to say, yes, just admit it so that they won't kill you. And then he did it anyways. And so she was like, oh.
I think I'm also referencing when they first have the fight and the sword, Joffrey's sword gets flung in the river and then the dog gets killed outside.
Okay.
Yeah. She lies in that room. Room. And she didn't have to.
And she always wanted to be someone. Like she should have, if she could have just been more humble, she might not have been in this whole situation that she got herself into with Ramsay and everyone.
The Ramsay thing was a whole made-up thing for the show, so it was horrible. Should never have happened. Things like that shouldn't happen. No.
gotta remember the book ends with John dying.
Oh, that's right.
That's where the book ends. Yeah, all the other stuff is season 6. Yeah, because like if she doesn't stick up for Arya, which is the issue, which I think they want to show that little bit of that, that sibling rivalry, I guess. But when they have to kill Lady, like you think she would have said something to her father at that point. So I get it. I get what you're saying though. Yeah.
And the whole Littlefinger stuff, she manipulated Littlefinger just as much as he manipulated her.
Yeah. Well, then she ends up getting back at him too, after the Battle of the Bastards and all that.
Yeah.
But
we'll see how it goes in the
slow
books.
learner. She said I'm a slow learner. Well, she said that. Those were her words. She said, I may be a slow learner, but I do learn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we promised we'd be out here by 9, so it's 8. It's 8:03, so that's not too bad.
I'm really glad Daenerys wasn't on the list for anybody.
No. Or Drogon. All right. Well, hey, this was fun. It was. I like having these kind of conversations. I would love to do one with like our favorite things or something. Maybe in January or something, we can come up with something. But or even favorite quotes, because they just rewatching. It's like there's so many quotes I rewind. It's so great. But yeah, so that, I think it was fun. So next Sunday, we will have a panel of 6 of us. We'll be going over our favorites and the best and the worst Funko Pops or Funko products of 2022. So we will have many of these in hand. We'll be showing off, and then we'll be talking about our least favorites. And so I think it'll be fun. And we have 6 people that will be on the live with us. So I think it'll be fun. I don't know. Any final thoughts or anything on this, you guys?
No, I upset myself last week. I should have added Hodor into one of my favorite characters because I absolutely adore Hodor and makes me cry every time.
Yeah,
when we realize the origin of his storyline. So
it's funny too. Even with Hodor though, like I was like just watching it. Man, he's not even in the show that much. He really isn't.
No,
it's so funny how he's such a minor character.
It's the only redeeming quality to Bronn. That's it.
Yeah, and again, Bran gets him killed. So, because he has to close his eyes and do some weird stuff. Lily, you have anything else you want to add or anything before we get out of here?
Nope. We're only 5 minutes over my alarm going off. So perfect.
All right. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed these. I thought they were a little bit of, I thought they were different. I thought they were fun. I appreciate you guys being here with me for the last couple of weeks here. And so next week I will be live on Sunday again, and then I'll be taking 2 weeks off on my Sundays, but we'll still be here on Wednesdays for Willow. So Ryan, tomorrow, what's the plan? Do you know what the plan is? Are we just skipping? Are we just going right down?
No, I don't want to skip. But I will do a quick breakdown of 1 and 2, and then we'll go deep dive 3.
All right. So tomorrow night,
because I need to catch up. Yeah. So tomorrow night between 7 and 8.
Tomorrow night between 7 and 8 Eastern, we'll be doing Willow 1, 2, and 3 to kind of catch up there. And then we'll be back on Wednesday at 9 p.m. to go through episode 4. So,
and I'm hosting Horseman Tuesday, and you're also welcome as my guest again, Headless.
That is right.
So it's a busy week. It's a busy week.
Yeah, we had technical difficulties last Tuesday. So we are going to be doing the Horseman at 9 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, and I will be on there with them. So, I'm looking forward to that. Of course, it's always going to be fun. So, all right.
Always a pleasure.
You too. See you soon.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Everyone in the chat, thanks for hanging out for an hour. We'll see you guys. Check out the video I dropped today on Melisandre. Is she in your top 5 favorite, or is she in your top 5 least favorite? All right. We'll see you guys. Take care, and don't forget, stay milky, and don't forget to keep those heads on.